In 1961, I was that girl.
In 1990, I was that girl.
In 2006, I was that girl.
So in 1961, I was living in the Bromley Heath housing project in Jamaica Plain with my mom and my dad. Unfortunately, my mother was very ill. She was dying of cancer, and my dad was trying to hold the family together, working a very menial job. The families in the area were just struggling with poverty. It was a crime-ridden area. There's a lot of alcoholism and drug abuse, and just so much uncertainty about what one's future would be. I can still remember to this day waiting, which seemed like forever. She would say, I'll be there at 11 o'clock, and I think I used to get up at probably 6 and start pacing. We were having this conversation, and Marlene said, you know, if you could do anything, you know, what would you love to do? Mm-hmm. And I thought for a moment, and I thought, you know, I would love to go into education. But I know I can't do that because I can't afford to go to college. And Marlene said, yes, you can go to college. And I would say, I can, and so I would apply to college. And then it went on, and then I said to Marlene, you know, I just got this great job, but they said if I wanted to stay, I had to get a master's degree. And Marlene said, that's not a problem. You can get a master's degree. I said, I can? And she said, absolutely. This is how you do this.
I didn't have anybody who would say, yes, you can. So I had to say it to myself. So it was easy for me to say it to Linda. Because anything that you want to go after, you can. She's proven it.
I don't think people realize how powerful when a person is a young child and a stranger walks into your life. And within a short period of time, that person kind of transforms who you are and how it really will dictate the future of a young girl. I worked almost 10 years at MCI Framingham in the women's prison in the education department. At one point, somebody said to me, how do you know all these people, Linda? I said, well, I grew up in that environment. And so I thought, wow, you know, that could have been me. It's not too far away. And I look back and I think, wow, you know, what would have happened if I didn't have Marlene in my life? And I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go. I don't even want to think about that because she impacted my life so much. She was always there. And there was even a point in my life where my both parents had passed, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And who do I call? It was a little sister, big sister relationship initially, but then it became like such a friendship, a real sister and a real friendship.
It was just me, my mom, and my older brother. My mom was always working. My brother was kind of responsible for me most of the time. I was always trying to like sneak around the corner with my friends and just doing a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have done as a kid, even, you know, before 7. So Nikki kind of took me out of that. Where I grew up, it was a lot of like young girls having kids and, you know, just hanging out on the street and just seeing her in a more positive and a different light gave me a different view of life. Not like I don't have to be like all the rest of the girls that I've grown up around.
I lived in the neighborhood. I'm from Mattapan, and I could literally like walk to her house. It was just a natural connection. Her mom always made me feel welcome.
It was nice to have Nikki come into my life as someone that kind of resembled me and that was able to take the time out and just dedicate it to me and, you know, take me places and do things with me. Because my mom was always at work, and then when she come home, she got to cook, clean, do all that stuff. So she really didn't have time to actually do things and take us on adventures all the time, and or even just give me my own personal time with her. So to have Nikki come in and take me places and, you know, take me on adventures and do things like that, it was nice to have.
Representation really matters. To see someone like you, you can be whatever you want to be because someone looks like you has done that. They've paved that way for you.
Looking at her and knowing that, hey, she can do it, then I can do it too. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to, you know, go to these big events or anything like that. It's just the quality time, just sitting back, watching a movie, laughing, you know, going for a walk and just having those conversations is very important.
When somebody trusts you like that, that's an awesome responsibility, you know? And I don't take it lightly. And I always wanted to be a good example for her.
She played a big part in what I visioned as a positive person. So without her, it may have looked a lot different.
My mother always told me, be a blessing to others. And I take that to heart. So I try to be kind and patient and nice, but this connection right here, it was just meant to be. It was meant to be.
I am a daughter to immigrants. My parents immigrated from China in the late 90s. At that time, I was really ready to just relinquish parts of myself in order to blend in order to fit in. It was really important to me to have someone to talk with. Jessica has always been more than a friend to me. She's been family, she's been an ally. I don't think she ever pushed me to share what I wasn't comfortable sharing. And then once I realized she was someone I could trust, and she always made me feel valued and made it seem like my voice mattered, that's when I was able to kind of confide in her about issues I was having at school, at home, maybe with my own identity. And it just from there on, like, felt very comfortable kind of sharing and being vulnerable with her and vice versa. I also had a lot of responsibilities as a child of immigrants, translating, accompanying them to appointments, things that a lot of my peers didn't have to worry about growing up. I used to be really embarrassed about where I came from and almost felt that, I wish I didn't grow up in the family and that I did. But then grew an appreciation, obviously, and felt very proud of where I came from, where I'm going. Jessica has never tried to change me. How's your writing going?
Andrew and Sam have been reading it together, which is interesting. As you've gotten older, I mean, the benefits of being a big sister are the benefits of any close friendship. There are very few relationships in my life that are more important than the one I have with you.
Some people go through life, carrying their burdens really well, but that doesn't mean it's not heavy. And so it's important to have someone whom you can unload that burden with, someone who can kind of help you navigate those challenges.
She gives me so much hope. I've been a big sister for 16 years. This is not a relationship that ends. This is a lifelong thing.
Sometimes it's hard to find words to express just how positive of an impact Jessica has had in my life. And I've written drafts of cards where, even cards that I haven't even sent, because it doesn't feel like those words encompass or reflect just how grateful I am and how much I love her.